32 Indian Evidence Act is for dying declaration. Suppose a person is dying and his evidence is to be recorded. Okay, that can be called either dying declaration. Suppose a person is stabbed, he's almost about to die, and he record his evidence. That will be dying declaration or dying deposition. So just basic thing, dying declaration is a declaration which where you don't do many formalities. The person is dying, you are just passing by, or you are a doctor, a person comes with a lady comes with 90% burns, you take the statement. Okay, you don't ask leading questions to her, you don't ask the you don't ask the lawyer to come, you simply record her statement, because you know that lady can die anytime. It is a case of 80 to 90% burns. Your statement that you record will be very important, because once the lady dies, then nobody can come to know what could have happened. But your responsibility becomes paramount. If you record the statement, that statement can help to get justice to that poor victim. Now, what's the difference between dying declaration and dying deposition? See, when a person is dying, it is practically not possible to ask her to take oath, to bring the lawyer, to do the cross-examination, do the leading questions, ask her leading questions. All these things are practically not possible. But sometimes, if you try to do all these things, then it is called dying deposition. So dying deposition is when you create a court-like atmosphere, even when the person is dying. It's a very difficult task. So this is a very difficult task, almost a hypothetical condition. Okay, in dying declaration, we don't do anything. We simply record the statement. In dying declaration, we simply record. Whereas in dying deposition, it's a very difficult thing where we create just like a court-like atmosphere. A person is dying, you treat or you create a court-like atmosphere. It's a very difficult thing. So which one is followed in India? See, India is an emotional country. मरता हुआ आदमी कभी झूठ नहीं बोलता. It will things like that. Okay. So in India, dying declaration is followed, not dying deposition. Oath, presence of accused, cross-examination, leading questions, these are a part of dying declaration or dying deposition. These are part of dying declaration or dying deposition. These are the part of dying deposition. Who can record a dying declaration? Tell me. Anyone can record. Even a dudwala can record a dying declaration. But preferably, it should be done by magistrate. Whereas, in case of dying deposition, it is only magistrate. So just remember this one thing. Dying declaration can be recorded by anyone, but if the question asks who should preferably record it, dying declaration should also be preferably recorded by magistrate, but that is not mandatory. Whereas in dying deposition, it has to be always recorded by magistrate only. Okay. Now tell me one thing. What kind of evidence is dying declaration? Oral or document? Tell me one thing. Suppose call this as number 1, this as number 2. So dying declaration is oral evidence or documentary evidence? What do you mean by oral evidence? Orally कुछ बोल दिया वो oral evidence हो गया. Oral evidence is when the person gives oral evidence in the front of judiciary-like atmosphere. So that, or what does you mean by oral evidence? Oral evidence means that there is a proper court-like atmosphere. You can cross question the person so that you can come to know if the person is really speaking truth or he is just faking any something. You can sit in front of each other and you can cross question. That is oral evidence. In dying declaration, the person tells what has happened to him to a dudwala or a doctor. Then he dies. Later on, what happens? Only the document goes to the court. Only the document goes to the court. Even if you have recorded his video, you cannot cross question him, because the person is dead. Because the person is dead, you cannot cross question it. So this is documentary evidence. Whereas in dying deposition, at the time of collection of evidence, you have already created a court-like atmosphere. You are cross-questioning him. So this is a kind of oral evidence. This is a kind of oral evidence. Understood?